Well, hello there, people with internet, and hello again. I am TheMBmulti, and welcome back to Doki Doki Outcast. In the previous episodes, Yuri and I... Oh yeah, we learned that we are doing another performance with the Literature Club. Again, it's a talent show this time, and we're going to be reciting poems for some reason. Even though I don't really think that's a great idea for a talent show, but that's just my personal opinion. So we've been practicing together with Yuri, but that bully student, Clyde... decided to be an asshole and essentially accidentally, read 100% on purpose, trip into Yuri to push her into the fountain in the middle of the courtyard, which was filled with students, so everybody saw and laughed at her. Afterwards, Yuri didn't come to the literature club, and despite all of the girls telling me not to visit her, and that Yuri is 100% fine, I decided to visit her anyway, and it was apparently the right time to do it, because she was about to commit suicide right then and there, and I accidentally walked in her about to do it. So, fuck the rest of the girls. I was correct. And then the game asked me, did I want to break up with Yuri, yes or no? I was like, why would I break up with her? So, Yuri has now vowed to tell the truth to the other girls and her father. And I guess that's going to happen in this chapter, so let's go. A few days have passed. I've been taking Yuri to therapy to discuss her cutting. She's already shy enough as it is. I had to convince her to talk to her therapist. It's been very difficult for her. She recently told her father about it as well. We all had the discussion over the phone. He even cried during our conversation. He blamed himself for it, even though Yuri admitted that it wasn't his fault. Yuri told him that she's doing fine and she was sorry for not telling him. Even though he was worried beyond belief, I informed him that I'd be watching over Yuri while he was gone. He thanked me and said that he would be home from his trip as soon as possible. I'm glad that Yuri built up the courage to tell him. Yuri said that she was going to tell the girls as well. I can only imagine how they will take it. Yuri's father blaming himself for it sounds very on brand for Yuri's parents or whatever, you know? Like her mom is dead in this mod. But, you know, it makes sense for Yuri's personality as well if her parents also do the same, you know? We sit the girls down and we discuss her cutting. Oh, okay. Oh, just like that. I thought we were actually going to witness Yuri telling the others and their responses in real time. But no, we're just mentioning it like this, okay? As we talk, each of the girls start tearing up. Natsuki has a look of guilt. She glances in my direction as if to say she was sorry. Yeah, you damn right you feel sorry, Natsuki. I can't blame her though. We never told them. It was easy to assume I was just being paranoid, but now that the word is out, they're all in utter shock. I felt the exact same way when she first told me, and hearing Yuri explain it again is still just as heartbreaking. She finally finishes telling them. Yuri, we had no idea. I'm sorry, Yuri! I've been a terrible friend! I'm sorry, Yuri. I just feel terrible just finding this out now. I'm sorry I never said anything. I left you guys in the dark for so long. I had to tell you eventually. Is there anything we can do to help, Yuri? You're very special to us. You may be just a club, but we're also your friends. We truly care about you. Yuri starts tearing up. Everyone gives Yuri a big hug. I love you all. We love you too, Yuri. We're always here if you need help. They release Yuri. We all sit in silence until Monika says something. Yuri, do you want to skip the performance? I don't want to force it on. There we go, finally. It took you long enough, Monika. Yuri thinks for a moment. I initially thought Yuri was going to step down, but no, I'll do it. One by one, the girl's eyes lit up. Even I was a bit shocked at first. See, that's what I wanted, Yuri to want herself. Are you sure, Yuri? You don't have to if you don't want to. I know I don't have to. I want to. There we go, that's what I wanted to hear. I think I'm ready. Okay, everyone. Let's make this event something special. Yeah! The girls collectively cheer. This event is going to be great. I think if that Clyde motherfucker shows up again and he starts to... Oh, that was the fastest chapter. Yuri's redemption. I think if that Clyde motherfucker shows up, either any one of the girls is going to fucking rock his world in a very bad way, as in beat him up. I'm fairly sure that Natsuki would just fly off the podium into him with a fucking dropkick. So I don't think Sayuri would like personally attack him, but she would, well, verbally personally attack him, but she wouldn't like physically attack him. Sayuri would just yell, "You're a meanie," or something like that at him. I feel like, I've already explained this a little bit, but I feel that Monika and Natsuki would straight up attack that guy. Natsuki would fly off the handle and charge at him. And Monika would be very calculated, cold, and like a sort of serial killer vibes. And destroy him socially and physically as well. Yuri's redemption, alright. Is this during the performance? A few weeks later. It's the day of the talent show. I get a text from Monika that the talent show will begin at 11 AM. Shortly after, I text Yuri to see how she's doing. She responds immediately. "I'm doing fine. I'm ready for this." I smile to myself. She can do this, I know it. I finish getting ready and make my way to school. We all meet up in the club to rehearse. The girls seem to be very excited. Even Yuri doesn't appear to be worried. "Okay, are you guys ready?" "Yep. I'm ready. I'm well prepared this time, I'd say." "Wonderful. Thank you for doing this, everyone. I know we can do it this time." All of a sudden, there's a message from the school's PA system. "Attention students, those that are participating in the school talent show, please report to the theater. The rest that would like to watch the show will follow shortly afterwards. Thank you." Well, I guess we better get a move on. Let's do this. Yeah, it's a straight up auditorium area, or theater. We arrive at the theater and the teachers give us a rundown of who will be performing in order. Our group goes last. Of course we do. "Okay everyone, let's go out there and give them the best performance possible." The talent show has been going on for almost 45 minutes. It's almost time for us to go on. "Okay students, up next is the school's very own literature club. Let's give them a round of applause." We receive a round of applause and walk onto the stage. We all bow to the audience. Monika walks forward. "Hello everyone, my name is Monika and I'm the president of the literature club. We're going to have a poetry performance from each of our members. I'll be the first one to... All of a sudden Yuri interrupts Monika and speaks into her ear. "Are you sure that's what you want?" Yuri nods. "Okay everyone, Yuri would like to start us off with her performance. Take it away, Yuri." Everyone sits in silence. Everyone has their attention on Yuri. She steps forward. She takes a deep breath. She then freezes entirely. I'm trying to figure out why she's afraid all of a sudden. She's staring into the audience. I stare as well. Or is it Clyde? Oh no, it's Clyde! He's staring at Yuri with a grin on his face. Yuri looks at me in fear. I give her a reassuring nod. Yuri takes a deep breath and relaxes once again. Yes! My favorite soundtrack as well for this part. Yuri begins reciting her poem. She has a few bumps at the beginning, but eventually finds her rhythm and carries on like normal. She's doing amazing. She's reading it like she did when we had our first rehearsal. Well, that's a bad thing, because the first one is the worst technically, because she gets better every time. But that's just me being nitpicky. It's almost as if she's in a completely different world, not paying attention to her surroundings. Her voice is beautiful and grounded. She knows when to apply the right emotions and volume in her voice. Everyone is noticeably engaged, including the girls. I'm in complete awe at how well she's doing. Yuri finishes and there's nothing but silence. She snaps back into reality. Huh? Nice. Woo! Woo, Yuri! Yeah! It seems as if everyone else snapped back into reality as well. Yuri received a huge round of applause from the teachers, students, and us. The students even give her a standing ovation. Yuri's visibly blushing. The applause eventually dies down and Monica steps forward. Thank you for that outstanding performance, Yuri. Everyone once again gives Yuri a round of applause. She bows to the audience. She then steps back to let Monica speak. Alright, next up we have Sayori, our club's vice president. I'm so glad that they put this soundtrack in. We all give our performances and the crowd cheers with excitement. We exit the stage. Thank you to all of our students who performed today. This was an amazing show. The students start exiting the theater. The girls start packing their things and make their way out as well. Thank you once again for performing, everyone. You all did wonderful. Especially you, Yuri. Really, Natsuki? Yeah, you were incredible. Great job, Yuri. Thank you. You deserve it, Yuri. That's it for today. See you all tomorrow. The girls leave Yuri and I to ourselves. Did I actually do that well? I feel like I dozed off or something. You did an amazing job, Yuri. I'm not just saying that either. I give Yuri a hug. She returns my hug and gives me a small kiss. So what would you like to do to celebrate? I had an idea in mind. Does that idea involve a date by chance? Not just any date. A date with you, Mark? My cheeks turn bright red. Well, then, shall we go? Yuri nods. She then grabs my hand as we walk out of the theater together. We make our way to the school entrance, but Yuri stops in her tracks. Oh, Mark, I left my backpack at the club. Let's go get it. Thank you, Mark. We turn around to make our way back to the club room. Within a few minutes, we arrive at the club and enter. Immediately upon entering the club room, I feel uncomfortable. It's him again. He's sitting at a desk, fiddling with a pencil. He looks in our direction. Hey, is he here to apologize? What do you want now, Clyde? Why can't you just leave us alone? I'm sorry. There we go. Triple dot. Excuse me? I'm sorry. Huh? For everything. I look over at Yuri. Just like me, she appears to be very confused. After everything he's done to her, why all of a sudden does he have a change of heart? What makes you think that we should just forgive you? How do we know if you're even being sincere at all? I completely understand why you wouldn't want to. I wouldn't even forgive myself. I feel bad for even coming here. I know you hate my guts and never want to see me again, but I felt that I should explain myself if I may. Clyde patiently waits for an answer, continuing to twiddle with his pencil. Yuri nods at me. I begrudgingly motion for him to continue. A few years ago, I had a girlfriend. She was my best friend and I loved her. I loved her so much. Clyde begins to tear up as he explains himself. Unfortunately, she died in a car accident during a trip. That was the last time I ever saw her. I haven't felt the same since her death. I always blamed myself for her passing. I spent many nights just wishing I could have her back. At least long enough to tell her how much she meant to me. Look, I'm really sorry about what happened to your girlfriend, but what exactly does this have to do with you mistreating Yuri? I guess I was just jealous. Huh? I guess it just pained me to see you guys so happy. It was the one thing that was missing from my life. I always tried to hide the fact that I was sad. In the end, I became someone that I'm not proud of. I've lost many people that were close to me because of my actions. Clyde remained silent for a brief moment, collecting his thoughts. But seeing your performance, Yuri, it made me realize what a horrible person I was being to you and many others. You're a very talented person, and I tried to make everyone see you as the opposite. I wish I could take back everything I did. Look, I know what I did was wrong and I don't expect you to forgive me. I just want you to understand. After hearing Clyde explain himself, I couldn't help but feel a little sorry for him. I do wonder, if I didn't go to Yuri's house and she did actually end up dying in like the bad ending or whatever, I wonder if Clyde would then also like become friends with the MC because of the similar backstory. You know? Sort of like bonding over the deaths of their girlfriends, so to speak. Then he explains himself and they become friends or whatever, and he apologizes for what he did. Yes, what he did to her was inexcusable, but his apology felt genuine. I look over at Yuri. She looks at Clyde and smiles. I forgive you. Clyde looks up at Yuri. You do? I know what it's like to lose someone that's close to you. It's not an easy thing to get over. It's all in the past, though. You can't let her death affect you. It wasn't your fault, Clyde. What was her name, if you don't mind me asking? Molly. What a beautiful name. Molly wouldn't want you to blame yourself. I'm sure she'd want you to move on and grow from it. Don't you agree? Clyde nods in agreement. I know what you did was wrong, but I forgive you. However, can you forgive yourself? He thinks for a moment. He then looks at me. It's okay, I forgive you too. He faintly smiles. Thank you guys. I don't deserve it, but thank you. From here on, I'm going to be a different person. It's what Molly would have wanted for me. Clyde gets up from his seat. I guess I'll see you guys around then. Yeah, I guess you will. He offers me his hand. I shake it in return. He then turns to Yuri. Thank you, Yuri. It means a lot. She nods to him and he exits the club room. Yuri grabs her bag and we leave the school together. This day just keeps getting better and better. Epilogue! Oh wow. All good things come to an end. Oh, please tell me she doesn't just randomly die at the end. 4 months later. Four months have passed and the summer has finally arrived. We're currently attending one of Yuri's therapy sessions. A lot has happened since the talent show. Yuri's father has come home from his trip and has been regularly attending Yuri's therapy sessions along with me. She stopped cutting altogether, not even getting the urge to do so anymore. At this rate, her therapist said that she'll no longer have to attend since she's been doing so well. During the first few sessions, she had a difficult time speaking. Now she's speaking with ease and hardly second guesses herself anymore. I guess you could say Yuri has become more confident in herself. I honestly couldn't be happier for her. We wrap up Yuri's therapy session and have lunch with her father. It's nice to just settle down every now and then. The next day. My alarm goes off and I wake up. It's a beautiful summer day. A bright blue sky is present, accompanied with very few clouds. Yuri and I were going to spend some time together. We're also planning to meet with the girls from the club sometime during the summer. We all were thinking about taking a trip to the beach. Speaking of the club, we actually managed to get some new members after the talent show. Oh, nice. Not just that, but the students at school have been much more friendly to Yuri, complimenting her and all. Even Clyde has changed. Every time I see him now, he's always being very kind to others. He managed to have a happy ending after all. I also found the time to finally let Yuri read my paper about my person of inspiration. She teared up when reading it and told me she loved it. Things have been looking up. I only hope it will stay this way. I look over at my clock. Oh man, I don't want to be late. I get dressed and make my way out to the door. I arrive at Yuri's house. I knock on the door. Yuri answers. Hey Mark, please come in. Thank you, Yuri. How are you feeling? Wonderful, thank you. And you? I've never been better. Yuri smiles at me gleefully. Would you like to continue where we left off? I'm ready when you are. Shall we get some tea to go along with it? Great idea. I'll get the book. I'll go make the tea. I'll meet you in the living room when I finish. I nod and make my way into the living room. Yuri goes to prepare some tea. I grab the book we've been reading off of the shelf and get a blanket for us. Shortly afterwards, Yuri comes back with a tea tray in her hands. She sets it on the table and pours some tea into my cup. She then hands it to me shortly after. Here you go, Mark. Smells wonderful. Yuri sits down next to me. I pull the blanket over us. We grab the book and assume our signature reading position. As we read, I glance at Yuri. She looks at me in return. As I stare into her beautiful eyes, I smile. She does the same. I'm happy to have her in my life. I'm happy with how she's grown as a person. But most importantly, I'm happy that she's here with me. That's all I could ever ask for. You honestly don't know what the future has in store for both of us, but I do know one thing. We'll be together to face it head on. Is that the end? The end? Yeah, that's the end. The end. A mod by Mattercrafter. That's clever because your name is Matt. Alright, I'm kind of expecting this mod to be longer, so I'm a bit surprised that we're already at the end. I mean, playing Blue Skies as my very first mod was maybe not really the best idea, because that's sort of like... It makes me imagine like, oh, everything is going to last that long. Angry Hedgehog did the voice for Yuri. You did a great job. And Yudiv or whatever did all the custom music apparently. Yeah, but that one song is literally called Ohio Monica. That's what I fucking called it as well, because it was Ohio Sayori but with more piano. So it's like, oh, that must be Ohio Monica instead. And that's literally what the song is called. That's very funny. Ah, thank you. Anything else at the end? Oh yeah, there we go. Dear player, thank you for taking the time to play Doki Doki Outcast. It has been an absolute pleasure developing it, and I cannot thank you enough for your support on this project. I hope you enjoyed playing and would love to hear what you thought. I'm not sure what my next project will be, but I hope it will be just as good, if not better, than Doki Doki Outcast. Thanks again, everyone. Sincerely, Matt. You can't see that because my face cam's in the way. There we go. Yeah. Click here when finished. Alright, that is Doki Doki Outcast. I mean, I could go on to find the other endings. Well, maybe the only ending that I'll find, I'll just see if that has anything, if I reject entering the club at the very first time with Sayori. Other than that, you know, there's going to be death. Yeah, that I don't want to see, because I don't want to see Yuri dead. I don't want to see her dead. I don't want to see any of the girls dead. Yeah, that was Doki Doki Outcast. It was a pretty fun mod, honestly. Again, a bit shorter. That's mostly my fault, because the very first mod that I played was Blue Skies. So I have a sort of an unfair expectation of mods that they're supposed to last as long as Blue Skies did with the with their routes, which last pretty long. So yeah, that's a bit unfair. So don't take this as a sign, oh, this mod is way too short. But that's just my wrongly imprinted expectation of Doki Doki mods, I guess. But yeah, it was pretty fun. I really liked that I just, you know, the choices, the story was pretty good. The choices you could make, the story as it written was fairly what's the right word for this? Fairly, I was gonna say like run of the mill, but I'm not trying to say that it was predictable or anything, but it just felt like it was yeah, it just, you know, it felt like a Doki Doki story or whatever, you know? Not necessarily cliched or too predictable, but yeah. On the other hand, not necessarily anything ridiculously crazy out of the ordinary. Just nicely in between. Not in a bad way, that's what I'm trying to say. I liked a lot of the custom music that they chose for the backgrounds, which was nice. I liked that we got to see quite a lot of stuff with Yuri as my girlfriends or as DMC's girlfriends. Because usually, especially in anime as well, which something is a bit unfortunate sometimes, I feel like, is the climax is the confession part, right? They confess their love to each other, and then, oh yeah, we're dating now. And then that's it. That's the season finale or whatever. And then the series is over. And then you don't see them actually be a couple or face things as a couple, which I think is a bit unfortunate from time to time. Yeah, not to say that it would take away from the story if it ends there, but you know, if every story ends there, I can't help but feel like one story should continue because I want to see them as a couple do things or whatever, you know. Because, you know, if every story has the oh, will they, won't they type of thing with the relationship, and then the climax is where they say, yes, I love you, oh, I love you too, oh my god, like dramatic music, crying, they hug each other or kiss for the first time or whatever, and then boom, that's it, the series is over. You know, I want a bit more than that. I want to see them actually be a couple, maybe like tell others if it's a difficult situation, or especially with Doki Doki, because essentially all the girls are in love with DMC, so to speak. So, you know, to various degrees. I mean, depends on the mod maker how much jealousy, so to speak, there is between the girls. But yeah, what is their reaction going to be? You know, here it was very pleasant. They were like, we already knew that you were madly in love with Yuri. It's like, oh, fuck. Was I that obvious? Yes. Okay, well, fuck. So that was pretty funny here. But yeah, so in general, usually it ends with them being together, and then you never get to see, you know, the fans write the fan fictions about the characters together as a couple, you know, afterwards when the main series is over. Because the main series doesn't do it. The main series only like ends right when they're in love, like when they confess their love to each other, when they're boyfriend and girlfriend or whatever, or they get married or whatever. And then it ends. And then you never see them actually be a couple and face things together, or like figure out how it works or whatever. And it's a bit unfortunate. There's a bunch of them where it's like, oh, come on, like, don't stop it there. There's more. It's not like the story is over. Well, again, they see that the story is about them finding each other and then ending it. But here it was, you actually get to spend quite a lot of time with Yuri as the girlfriend. So that was very nice, and I thought it was a great addition. Also, a bit of an interesting, different take on the self-harm. On the reason for the self-harm with the dead mother and the bullying, because you know, there's always, if there is a chance for a mod to explore the reason why the girls have their mental problems, it's always interesting to see how they change, how they choose the things, whatever, you know. So that was pretty nice. I do like that comeback, how do you call it, turnaround from Clyde or whatever, his redemption arc, that's what the word I was looking for, that he actually apologizes when Yuri does a phenomenal job at the talent show. Came a little bit out of nowhere, but it was nice, and I didn't actually expect it. I mean, I expected it once they went back to the club for the bag. I didn't expect it to be him. I thought that there were going to be new members waiting at the literature club to join because of the performance. That's what I thought was going to happen at first, where they would go to the literature club to grab Yuri's bag, and then there would be students there asking if, you know, oh, where can we sign up? We want to join the literature club. You know, I thought that was going to be what it was going to be like, but I didn't expect him to be there. But it was nice. It was pretty good. What else did I like? I liked that that they didn't bash me for that wrong choice. Well, it wasn't the wrong choice, evidently. It was the correct choice to go for Yuri when she was absent from school for a while after the fountain incident. It was it's pretty funny because usually the game sort of like ushers you in the right direction, but here it tried to usher you in the wrong direction, and I wasn't feeling it. I was well, not really angry, but I was pissed off with the girls all saying to me like, "You're being overprotective, you're being overbearing," sort of trying to gaslight the players almost into not doing anything. But I was like, no, fuck you. No, I'm Yuri's my girlfriend. I'm gonna do it, And then that turned out to be the correct choice, because if I didn't go there, that would probably have led to the bad ending where Yuri doesn't survive at the end. So I kind of I thought it was an interesting take where everybody tells you you're being paranoid, but of course you have more information than they do, and so sort of the peer pressure of of them all going like, no, leave her alone. I mean, there's some truth to that. Like, you don't want to be super overbearing, but on the other hand, checking up on Yuri after that bullshit that happened with Clyde at the fountain, like, yeah, no shit. Of course I'm going to check up on her. So I thought that was pretty clever, where the game sort of like almost forces you to choose incorrectly if you listen to them. That was and because it also feels like a real thing that could happen. Not necessarily specifically that if you don't make that choice, somebody commits suicide. I mean, those situations would probably occur, unfortunately, in human lives from time to time. But in general, just everybody's like, oh, you're being overprotective, you're being whatever. Like, no, it actually works for Yuri and me, how we work as a couple, So not listening to them was actually the correct thing to do. So I thought that was very clever, and also the meaning behind it. So I liked all the interaction with Yuri, as not necessarily just as a girlfriend, but just in general with Yuri. A lot of interaction, very sweet, very fun. There wasn't really much focus on the other girls, which makes sense because this is a Yuri focus mod, so they don't have to focus on the other girls. Some things I didn't like would be there were some very minor spelling grammar mistakes. Very minor, very few of them, but a few words not being capitalized, stuff like that. There's nothing major, just some, I noticed them. That's all I want to say. It didn't completely ruin the experience or whatever, like, what the fuck? Of course not. I just wanted to notice. I just noticed, and then I want to point it out. Also, the characters use their names, or each other's names, quite a lot. So I started, even like from episode 8 onwards, I started to sort of skip it from time to time. Where it's like, oh, what would you like to do, Yuri? I would like to do this, Mark. Okay, Yuri. Yeah, thank you, Mark. Like, it's a bit too often they would just name each other, Like, in some cases it's fine. When it kind of feels like how when in Japan or in Japanese you would use each other's names a bit differently or more often than you would in English or whatever. Like in Japanese, where you call your sister "Hey sis" or whatever. Like it's normally that would end up on a sort of a Reddit post, but they're like, "Oh, tell me you never grew up with siblings without telling me you never grew up with siblings." And then they show a little part where they say, "Hey sis, hello brother." Like, there's some times where you say that, but you usually say that ironically, but you don't actually say that. You say hello sis, hello. But in Japanese you do. You say "one." One-chan or Oni-chan for a brother, or one, just one. So, there it does make sense to call your sister hello sister. But in English it doesn't really work that way, so you can't really literally translate it. That's kind of what that felt like with them using their names all the time. Kind of felt like it was literally translated from Japanese into English, where they didn't bother to see if it sounded bad or a bit awkward in English. That just literally translated it. So I kind of felt that was, well, not necessarily bad, but it's sort of, I noticed it. That's what I want to say with that. A few things felt a little bit rushed, like Clyde's redemption arc. He pushed Yuri into the fountain a few days ago. He was still smiling gleefully, like he was about to mess up her performance by just sitting in the audience at the talent show, and then later he's like, "Oh no, actually, I have a dead girlfriend, and that's why I did the things, and I apologize." Felt a little bit out of nowhere. almost like they were like, oh fuck, here's the end. We have to rush this guy's character arc. It's a bit weird that he also gets a character arc, but we didn't really pay attention to any of the other girls in the club. Like, why was Monica so vehemently trying to get the club on the map? Is she trying to prove something, or is that just her way of thinking that they're making everybody fun, making fun for everyone, or something like that? We have zero idea about Sayori. I mean, it's glad because we didn't see any depression hints from her, but you know, that doesn't mean that they are not there. Again, it makes sense because this is not a Sayori focused mod, it's a Yuri focused mod, so they don't have to do anything with the other girls. But I felt like they could have done a little bit with the others, especially with Natsuki, because of Natsuki being angry at MC being overprotective, so to speak, to Yuri. And then figuring out that no, he actually had a pretty good reason, because if he did listen to Natsuki's advice, then Yuri would be dead. So I thought that would be set up for a nice character arc there, where she would be very, very apologetic to Yuri and MC about her behavior or something like that. But we didn't really. Well, there was that painful glance when Yuri told it, and then it was over. It's like, okay. Also, the Yuri telling the truth to her father and the club felt a little bit rushed as well. I was kind of hoping that would be a full-on scene. Maybe not the father. That makes sense that is just, oh, that happened off screen. But I kind of wanted Yuri to actually do it, you know? Maybe he didn't want to do that because he didn't want to repeat the lines, you know, because Yuri already explained it to MC, and as the player, you already read that. So then if Yuri had to explain it to the other girls, you would see essentially the same scene again. But I feel like you can still make it a little bit different, or just have the interaction different because of there's 3 girls there to react to this story, you know. So, you know, Sayori could burst into tears after the first few words and fly into Yuri's arms and hug her and cry, you know, or Natsuki could feel very closed off because of how shameful she feels about almost being the cause of Yuri's death if she had convinced MC to not go to her house. Monica could be, you know, a bit of a different side from Monica. She's usually very composed and maybe a bit too distant from the others because she's so popular. And then maybe, you know, Monica would be... We'd see a different side from Monica in that sense when Yuri tells her story. Kind of hoping something like that. Then stuff like that should have enough impact to make the scene different and stand out from the Yuri confesses her self-harm to MC scene, you know? I mean, I don't even know if that was the reason why why Matt didn't include that scene, but yeah, I feel like there should be more than enough stuff there to play around with in order to make the scene not a copy-paste of that other one with MC, just with other people there now too. Like, and maybe MC can jump in to sort of fill in gaps because he knows it, you know, he can explain some things here and there to help Yuri into explaining things. And like I said, you could have something with the reaction from the others, Natsuki, about how she almost condemned Yuri to death, essentially, inadvertently, by trying to convince MC to not go to her house. She would feel very shameful. And that could be the setup for an arc where she would try to be better friends with Yuri later on if this mod went on for longer. Or so, like I said, Sayori would feel like a horrible friend because, of course, we all know how much Sayori cares about everyone. So this slipping on the Sayori's radar would feel like she is doing a horrible job, obviously. So she would totally start bawling her eyes out and hug Yuri and maybe be a bit overprotective herself. In the following few days, she would overcompensate for her lack of presence in Yuri's life because she would feel like it was her problem or she caused it because she didn't, I don't know, like she didn't hang out with Yuri as much or she didn't stand up to the bullies as much, stuff like that. So she would blame herself for it and then try to overcompensate by doing tons of stuff in the next few weeks. And then Yuri would feel a bit uncomfortable as well because Sayori is doing it so much that because she's overcompensating for it, that Yuri feels a bit uncomfortable about it. You know, like that's another arc that essentially writes itself. You know, stuff like that. I was kind of expecting that to be a bigger deal, but it was just like sort of mentioned off the cuff. Like, oh, well, whatever. I do really like how Yuri went ahead with the talent show performance anyway, because that's what I wanted from Yuri. Wanted herself instead of being peer pressured by Monica. So that was very good. I really liked that part where Yuri was like, no, I still want to do it. And Monica being very apologetic, like, oh, I didn't want to force anything. You can bail out if you want. So, like, I don't want you to force you to do it if makes you uncomfortable. Even though Monica should have felt that way from the beginning, but whatever. Like I do like that it went that way. And finally, there was a little bit too many scenes of MC just waking up, eating breakfast, and then going. Like, you don't necessarily have to start just because you start the day, essentially, you don't necessarily have to do that all the time. So it's just, you just felt a bit repetitive, where it's like, oh, wake up, eat, and then go. Next act, or next chapter, wake up, eat, and go. Next chapter, wake up, eat, and go. Next chapter, wake up, eat, and go. Like, all right, thanks, but you can also start when MC's already at school, or have something happen during the breakfast where he discussed things with his parents. I mean, his parents weren't here in this mod, but maybe discuss some things with his parents, or maybe start from. I mean, this is mostly from MC's perspective. You can't really start it, but we did switch to Yuri's point of view a few times, so that would be also an interesting thing to start with Yuri's point of view, maybe in an episode. But yeah, those are my thoughts. Oh yeah, and the voice acting was nice, even though I feel like the voice actress. If I were in charge of casting, I wouldn't have cast her for Yuri, because I feel like her voice doesn't fit Yuri necessarily. I would have cast her for either Sayori or maybe Monica even. But no, I always imagine Yuri's voice a bit different than that. But that's just my personal opinion. But she did a great job. That's what I wanted to say with the voice acting. It was a very nice addition, first of all. I mean, I understand why they didn't voice act every line from Yuri, because of course you would have to change, because you can only do it with the player name unless they voice it with her saying MC or something like that for the voice lines instead of your actual name, because there's no way you can record any lines for any fucking name that you can put in there. So the small little visions from Yuri's point of view were very nice. The voice acting was nice, and they brought a little bit of extra flavor to the mod or whatever. So yeah, those are my thoughts. I really quickly want to see one thing before I end it off. And that is if we load the game here. I kind of want to see what happens if I don't join the literature club. So Yuri, I'm going to have to decline your offer. I'm not trying to be mean, but literature just doesn't sound like my idea of fun. Are you sure? Yeah, I'll pass for now. Okay, Mark, I understand. I feel like I made Sayori a little sad. Hearing those puppy dog eyes, maybe I can at least cheer her up and keep my promise about other clubs at least. Don't feel bad, Sayori. I'll still look into other clubs if it makes you happy. Sayori's bubbly personality suddenly got reignited. Even if I said no to the literature club, she still seems happy about the fact that I'd give other clubs a chance. That's great to hear. Hopefully you'll find something you like. As long as you're happy, then I'm happy. We'll just have to see. In the meantime, we should get going. Well, we'll be late for class if we don't hurry. Sayori nods and we both resume our walk to school. After we reach the school grounds, I say goodbye to Sayori and we go to our respective classes. Is there anything more? Yeah, the school day is pretty ordinary. It's over before I know it. The bell rings and all of us students leave the classroom. I walk out into the hallway. Am I still gonna run into Yuri? So Yuri told me that she wanted me to look at some clubs. I guess I could start with the chess club. Okay. Very basic, I know, but it's something. At least I'll be interacting with others. Even though I'm not a shy person, I feel somewhat nervous about going to the club. One of the reasons I like Sayori so much is because I've known her for a while now. I just have to relax a little. It's only a club after all. I can't be that bad. As I turned into the hallway, I accidentally ran into a girl in front of me. I guess I wasn't paying much attention. I turned to the girl I just ran into. She looks back at me. Oh, okay, so I still run into Yuri? Oh my goodness! I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention. She looks away embarrassed. I don't think she needs to be apologizing. I was the one not paying attention to my surroundings. Oh, no, don't be. I was lost in thought and I ran into you by accident. I'm really sorry. She seems a little shy. I need to save the situation. Hey, I promise you didn't do anything wrong. It was entirely my fault. There's no need to dwell on it. Besides, it was just an accident, right? I suppose you're right. Are you alright? Are you hurt? No, I'm fine. Good. I looked down for a brief second and realized she had dropped her books after I ran into her. Oh, your books. Let me get them for you. It's a bit interesting we can't skip this even though the dialogue is essentially the same. I get on my hands and knees and begin picking up all of her books. While grabbing them I noticed that they're not school textbooks. She was carrying a handful of novels. She must be into reading. I get back up to my feet and give the books back to her. Here you go, all your books. Hopefully they aren't damaged or anything. Oh, I'm sure they're fine. Thank you. She stutters for a second. It's only then that I realized that I haven't introduced myself yet. Oh, sorry, my name is Mark. Nice to meet you, Mark. My name is Yuri. Nice to meet you as well, Yuri. I offer my hand to Yuri. She accepts my handshake. We stand there awkwardly for a few seconds. So, where were you going, Yuri? I was actually going to attend my club. Oh, what club is that? It's the literature club. I should have guessed based on the amount of reading materials she possessed. Oh, how interesting. Do you like literature too? Well, I'm not exactly an expert on the subject, but it's interesting, I'd say. Maybe you should come by and see if you'd like the club. I could even take you there if you're unsure of its location. Well, I tried forming an answer, but the words wouldn't leave my mouth. I guess I could... Ah, come on! Come on! Why would you put the choice in there if I end up going to the club anyway? I mean, it makes sense, but I thought it would be like a funny joke ending where you just never go to the literature club and you never meet Yuri. And then the mod just ends very, very abruptly. Like, why would you put a choice in there if I was gonna end up back at the club anyway? Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive. No, I'm fine. In fact, a friend of mine referred me to the club as well. I might as well try it out for her and myself, I guess. Well, that's very thoughtful of you. Even if you're just doing so because they requested you to try it. It's very endearing. Yuri gives me a warm smile. It's a very pleasant sight, to be honest. Thank you, Yuri. Not a problem at all. Even if it wasn't my original idea, Yuri and I make our way to the literature club. I feel a little bad for dismissing Yuri's request. She was only trying to help me be more social. Who knows, maybe I might end up liking literature. It's quiet most of the way, but I personally don't mind. Neither does Yuri, it seems. We eventually arrive at the club. I peek inside the door to see if there is anybody else inside. I see 3 girls, 2 of which I can't make out as they're turned around. However, one of the 3 girls I see is Sayori sitting in the room. Well, here we go. I grab the handle and open the door. I enter the room followed by Yuri and close the door behind me. Mark, you came anyway? I had a change of heart, okay? I feel like that was a rather pitiful excuse, but Sayori is happy to see me here nonetheless. At this point, I'm only trying to please as many people as possible. Aw, thank you for giving it a chance, Mark. You're the best. Hello, Mark. It's nice to see you here. My heart skips a beat. It's Monica, the most popular girl in school. She's in the literature club? Thanks for stopping by my club. She's even the president. I guess I shouldn't be too surprised. Monica has been the leader of many clubs after all. Hey Monica, thanks for having me. Out of nowhere, the 3rd girl walks up. Are you kidding me? You brought a boy? Yuri, nice. I do like that. Yuri is the one that gets flack from Natsuki this time. It's hard for me to tell if she's even the same year as us. Either way, she hasn't exactly given me the most warm welcome. No, it wasn't my original idea. We ran into each other in the hallway, and he wanted to give the club a chance. So I brought him here. Come on, Natsuki, don't be like that. Mark is really cool when you get to know him. He's super nice and works hard. I'm not sure about the works hard part, but I'll take the compliment. Ugh, but you ruined the atmosphere. I feel betrayed. Wow, she slumps back into her seat. I'm sorry about Natsuki, Mark. I promise you she's not normally like this. She's just not used to having boys in the club. We're really excited to have you here. Monica gives me a smile. It's nice, albeit a bit uncomfortable. I guess I'm just not used to being around cute girls. Well, make yourself at home, Mark. We're here if you need anything. I will, thank you. Oh, Mark, come and sit down. We have desks arranged for the meeting today. Alright. I brought some homemade cupcakes, okay. Fucking personality disorder. All of a sudden she's happy again. How about I make some tea as well? We sit down at the group of tables. It's going pretty good so far. I guess we can skip this part again? No! Monica sits across from me. Yuri follows shortly afterwards and sits next to me. So, what are you interested as far as reading, Mark? Have you always had a correlation with literature? And there goes my relaxation. Well, ta-da! I'm interrupted as Natsuki brings a tray full of cupcakes to the table. Without even trying one, I can already tell they taste delicious. I hope you guys like them. So Yuri grabs one almost immediately. Monica and I grab one as well. It's so good! Thank you, Natsuki. Natsuki gives Sayori a huge smile. She must really enjoy sharing a bake with others. Okay, well, the rest is just the same as boom. Like, I thought it was going to be a joke ending where you never go to the club and then the mod just ends immediately. But it's apparently just, the choice doesn't matter. You end up back at the club anyway, but this time it's Yuri that brings you instead of Sayori. And there may be some different choices down the line. But anyway, I encourage you guys to sort of figure it out. I'm not going to deliberately make bad choices for the bad ending. I don't want to see Yuri dead. I want to end on that positive note with Yuri with Yuri's redemption arc or something. Whatever you want to call it, at the poetry performance. Or at the talent show. Right, so this series was a bit shorter than I expected, because I was expecting this to go on for a little longer. But not to worry, because I still have a whole bunch of Doki Doki mods lying in my folders, lying in a folder on my computer to try. So I'll be going for the next one immediately after this one. So I'll see you guys for the next one, I guess. Yeah, I'll see you for the next one. See you later, Romans. Bye later.